Hi, everybody. I am here with my dear friend Amanda, and I want everybody to have the background. I literally called Amanda, I don't know what, a half an hour ago, and said, "What are you doing?"
Yep.
And you had to do some running, and so you're like, "I can," and I'm like, "We're gonna hop on, and we're gonna talk about something. We're gonna play in the intellectual sandbox." So thanks, friend.
Thanks for having me here. I love this. We talk about this stuff a lot. And so when you told me what we were going to talk about, I'm like, I've just been doing like running and mom errands and Christmas present wrapping and all of that. And so like to tap into like this adult version of me is super fun.
Oh, it's so great.
I was so
It's
excited.
Well, listen, and I had some thoughts in this last half an
Okay.
hour since we
Oh,
talked.
good.
And so I'm
Yeah.
going to let this be a choose your own adventure. But first, without making it too long, I feel like we have to give people a little bit of background because we have done one of these before. Um,
Yep.
we've actually done way more than that we just have in a can because we actually have a podcast. Now, that
We
podcast
do.
is yet to be launched, but we have artwork for it because that's how we roll. And of course, you headed up that part of the project because we'll get into that actually in this recording.
It's the
But
best kept secret,
it
our podcast.
really is. And when people say you guys should have a podcast, we're like, no, we do. Let me show you the artwork. And we need to update it though, because I didn't have the mohawk.
I know.
It's not
I
quite
know.
right. But it is good. It is good. Um,
It's real good.
we met how many years ago now?
It has been, excuse me, it's been a lot of years now, I think. I feel like, what year was
I
that?
don't know. All I know, we'll say this. You were working at Growing Leaders at the
I
time.
just started.
Yep. Yes, you
So
were
that would
very
have been
new.
the year that I moved to Georgia, which would have been 2019. So
Yep.
6 years.
There it is. It feels longer, and here's why. It was kind of like one of those things, and Jenny and I have talked about this too. Jenny, who I met through you, who you withheld from me the whole time that you lived in Atlanta, and you didn't introduce her to me until we were in Hawaii together
It would
for your
have only
wedding.
ever worked
I
now.
think that's
It would have
bullshit.
only, you do?
No, tell everybody what you told me when I asked you in Hawaii, why am I just meeting Jenny? Do you remember?
No.
You said, what, you think I was going to share you? Swear to God.
Oh,
You
that
kept
I
us
do
apart
feel
on
that way.
purpose.
Hmm.
Yep.
I do. I do. I have this equal need to have you all to myself and to also share you with all of my people because I feel like everybody should get to experience you while also staking my claim.
For real, like whenever I'd go to Atlanta, I'd stay at your house and we would like maybe leave to go pick up sushi. And that was it. Like
That was it.
we like never left the house.
Oh,
So,
I know.
but it was like one of those things where we were made, I think our souls were like stirred in the same pot, right? So it was instant. Literally the day I met you, we
The
were
day.
lifelong friends, right?
That's for sure. Yep. I mean, like, I remember that day and thinking, like, what a sad thing if that was the end of that. You know what I mean? Like that was my first day at Growing Leaders. I was meeting a ton of new people. But like that day, I think we skipped like half of what we were even there for, right? And sat in a private office and just connected. And I'm like, this can't be all there is.
Yep. Nope. And then it wasn't. It was
It,
just like we were instant friends. So
I
cool.
know.
So,
And
so
I
cool.
don't even think I could have predicted what it would become. I don't even think I could have predicted that, but it was like the most natural, best possible thing.
It was. And
Yeah,
we have more similarities than we appear to have, but we're very different too, for
yeah,
in a lot
it's
of
true.
ways.
We are similar, I would
Yes,
say,
I
right?
agree.
I would say that that's true. Hmm.
But we clearly are a walking paradox when we're next to each other, as people can see on their screen, which I love it so much.
I think that's the beautiful thing about even just everybody being their own unique self, because we also, if you think about it, like we have some similarities, not visually, but in the way we function in life.
True,
Like neither of us are going to sit in front of a mirror and put makeup on every morning. We're
true.
just not,
Or ever.
right?
Or ever.
Ever.
I
My
mean, unless
wedding
I
day
have
was
to, unless
it.
like I
Yeah,
don't
that
have a
was
choice.
it.
ESPN. Yeah.
Yeah.
I no, this is a funny. I remember when we were doing the pictures, you were getting your dress into your wedding dress, and I
Yeah.
remember, and I like, I remember I was holding. I'm like, can somebody give me something to do? Because I felt like I was in the visiting team's locker room because I just didn't ever do those sorts of things. And so
Yeah.
you're getting your pictures. They're like, tying your wedding dress up, and I'm in there like in my tuxedo, mind you,
Yes.
and
Yes.
everybody else is all
It
dressed
was
in I like these
amazing.
crazy dresses, and I'm like, can I hold a shoe? And Lori thankfully gave me a shoe so I'm holding one shoe in the background. I don't know what I've never seen me in those pictures, but I bet it was freaking hilarious.
Well, you have the link.
Yeah,
So
no, but I don't think I'm in any of the ones that made it. Probably because I was like, I'm so uncomfortable in this moment because I was in the visiting team's locker room. It like even the analogy alone, Amanda, come on,
it's so good. It's
so
so
funny.
good.
And
I
that's how
love
it
it.
felt. But
But it
okay,
was perfect. I couldn't even imagine that event without you there. I
oh my
mean,
God.
it's just that's the thing, right?
It was
So
so fun. It was one of the best. Oh gosh, what a great event that was. Oh,
that
and
was fun.
your 1 year anniversary is coming up, and we had talked about, all of us celebrating your 1 year anniversary. And Rick can come if he'd like, but we all
Yeah.
need to go. I mean, if he wants. I mean, it's your
Yeah.
anniversary, but like we all decided that we need to take multiple trips. So where are we going for the
Yeah.
first year anniversary? Do we know yet?
We no, we should probably plan that.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
coming.
like to have that house back in
Mhm.
Maui, but do you know, I kid you not, do you know that I checked availability for that like a month after we got back and it's already booked? It
For
was
like
already
for like
for
ever,
sure
probably.
for like that whole time frame
That
for
was this house, y'all. I can't even, nope. I can't do it justice. It
it
was,
was so good.
that was an amazing week. That was a way
It
to
was
go.
so fun. It
And
was
then I
so
went from
good.
that to Molokai, and yeah, it's a whole thing.
Oh yes,
remember
you
my,
were roughing it.
I went from like a $30 million house to like, mm, I, I don't, it was not, I do not
You
recommend. I
had
do
a
not.
little stove, right? I mean, you had a stove.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Yep, yep.
Fine.
It's what it is. So, okay, I'm gonna give you a choose your own adventure. So I did give you
Okay.
like something we could talk about, but I want to give you a
Mhm.
choice.
Okay.
You have you gotten your copy of Strong Ground yet by Brene?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm gonna
No.
fix that. I'm about to fix that. So
Okay.
don't get it. You're
Okay.
gonna want the audio and you're gonna want the hardcover.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
mine is all tore up. I'm gonna fix it.
We're the same in that. Like there are certain books that we have to have because we mark it up, like
Yep.
highlight
It's
notes,
a
the
hot
whole thing.
mess. My whole
Yes.
copy. But don't I got you. I got you, boo. Okay. So in it, and this is something I wanted to talk to you about. The last time we had a epic Marco back and forth, you and I was driving back up from, I mean, I'm just kidding. I didn't Marco while I was driving. Um, but
You were at a
remember
red light.
the amazing Marco marathon we had when I was driving up from Indianapolis, like not that long ago. Um, we sort of touched on this, and I was also listening to that in between our mark while you were responding. I was
Mm-hmm.
listening to this podcast series with Adam Grant and Brene Brown, and I
Yep.
heard it first there, and then I finally got there in the book. And it's the idea of cognitive empathy versus affective empathy. And I'm
Okay.
going to just tell you, because this is going to speak to you, because I know. Let me give you the definitions. And cognitive empathy is the one we want, right? Because that's the one that drives trust and connection.
Mm-hmm.
Affective empathy drives burnout, and you're going to love this, and enmeshment.
Oh.
Let me give you the definitions, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep. Cognitive empathy. I can draw on my own experiences and my knowledge of emotions to recognize what you're feeling, and I'm able to see you, right? This is the one we
Mm-hmm.
want.
Mm-hmm.
Affective empathy is I'm going to feel what you're feeling, and now I'm unable to help, and we're both in a hole.
Yep. And
Yep.
you're entangled and enmeshed together.
Yes. And we both have when we say we're similar, we're very similar in
Yeah.
our value of our own
Mm-hmm.
independence and autonomy. And we've talked about this a lot. So we can go that route, and we can
I
do
like
this, we
it.
can do two. The other one
Okay.
is the the line that we talked about when I without planning. just decided to demolish my entire living room, and now it's
Oh my gosh,
spreading into my
that's
house.
so funny.
I didn't have a plan. Like people don't, that's just how I roll. The spirit moved me and I was like, yeah, this needs to be done anyway. So I just demoed the whole living room and now part of my main space in my house. And you are, I am not saying this because you're my friend, it's the truth. You are a genius at creating beautiful spaces. And I don't just mean aesthetically, like everything about the spaces that you design, every sense is just, it's wonderful. And at some point we're going
Mm,
to find a way to work together where, because I love doing that, but for the energy amongst the people in it, and to
hmm.
couple what your genius is with, I don't know if I would call mine a genius, but my passion that I'm trying to master always, I'm striving for mastery. I think if we combine those two, oof, we would do some magical things. But
Agreed.
in the time of doing that, I said to you, the line that I think I got it from Brene, but I don't know if she said it first. And I actually, ironically, talked to Brent about this right before he died. Weirdly,
Okay.
it was the day before or 2 days before. It's the idea that um, unused creativity is not benign; it is malignant.
Oh, it's so true.
Yeah, and I know
Oh,
that that spoke to you. So, which way do you want to go, friend?
well, okay. On the one hand, this feels cruel because I love both of these. I love both of these topics, and they can and cannot be mutually exclusive, and that's true maybe just from my perspective, because one of the things that matters the most to me and why I create the spaces that I create and why I love doing it is the thing that drives me to do that is out of my empathy. Like it is because I just believe that the deep innate worth and value of a person, and I believe that if there is going to be a person in the midst of my being, they should feel their worth. And the way that I know how to do that is through those two things, through uh, creating beautiful spaces for them and empathizing. So isn't that strange? Like it's kind of like, I mean, I
Interesting.
do love it for the sake of loving it on its face, right? But like the thing that drives me is because of how important it makes people feel.
Tell me about, like, if you look back, when did you first notice that you were really gifted at creating spaces, like, because they're not just like beautiful space, they're like elite beautiful spaces. So we could talk about the chateau, which you could describe this was how would you describe it, like a high end wedding venue
It
or
was a
event?
wedding and event venue. We did it was both, and it was I designed it and built it to cater to multiple events. So multiple different needs, whether they be private and small, whether they big but still feel private. Yeah. So
So good. So when did you notice that this was something that was in your innate wheelhouse? Because I don't know that you're formally trained in it, right?
no,
You're
I'm
but
not.
I've never seen anybody create or design spaces more beautiful than you in
So
my
this is
life.
the yeah, so I there's like differences to me between gifts, talents, and skills, right? Like skills we can develop. Gifts, I think, are just the things that we can still we can develop the skill behind the gift, but a gift is just something that like I can't take any credit for it. I was very young, and I probably attribute this to the fact that my nose was in a book from the time I learned to read. As someone that's introverted, as someone
What
that loves
kinds of
to read,
books?
oh, well, anything, but this is going to sound weird, but dominantly, like, especially through like middle school, high school, military. It was, I mean, it was where I found
Why?
my love for.
Why?
Uh, we've talked about that in my counseling sessions. My therapist has a theory behind that because, you know this about me. I had an incredibly traumatic childhood,
Oh,
and there
homegirl, we know where the bodies are buried for each other.
yes, yes,
For
we do.
sure.
And we're burying bodies for each other from here on. Like, I mean, it's fine. It's all fine.
And then we're gonna end up in a commune together. You and Jenny already designed this and
Yes.
forgot to tell me that I was actually gonna retire.
It's
We're all gonna be in the
fine.
same. It's fine.
It's
I
fine. You'll
I
love
go where
it.
you
You'll love
point.
it. It's
I go where
fine.
you point.
No, so um because I'm introverted. There was a lot of trauma, like lots of layers of trauma, and in my own home was the least safe place. So the my therapist feels like that I was drawn to specifically like special forces because
Interesting.
I was trying to escape into a world of safety and protection and being protected.
Interesting.
So, yeah, because that there were people all around me that were supposed to be who were safe for me, and they were the least safe
Yep.
and the least trusted. So I found that in that escape, the escape in my bedroom and the escape in books. And so it just opened my world because I wasn't reading like, I mean, I was reading some good fiction. Like I love V.C. Andrews, kind of that weird. I like kind of some paranormal stuff. But like when I was not sleeping at night because I couldn't stop reading, I was reading like Richard Marcinko's Rogue Warrior. Like, you know what I mean? And like if so it doesn't make any sense, but it absolutely expanded my mind. It expanded my mind and I could see everything. Like every book that I read about everything, the descriptors, the adjectives were like life for me. Like I wanted to immerse myself in whatever I was reading and I wanted to be there and I could see it. And so what that translated into for me at like probably I'm certain late teens, because by the time I'd started a business at 19, this was full fledged in force. I could walk into a room and see what was possible.
It's incredible too how you do it. Can you talk me through? So let's take my living room that is literally now like 2x4s. If anybody follows me on social media, I just every now and then we'll put something up on my story. And I texted the group, our Miami group chat, and I was like, well, it's expanding. It's a whole thing. Um, but you had a Pinterest board created for me within hours of me saying, "Hey,
Oh yeah,
Amanda, I'm gonna need your genius," and
yeah,
I gotta tell you, the stuff on it is like I and it's exactly what I would hope for it to be.
yeah.
One day, everybody will see it when I get it done.
I know, and you're gonna love it, and it's gonna be your favorite space. And
I'm gonna
for
hate my
me,
kitchen after. That's the problem, and I'm gonna run out of money because I'm gonna.
and we'll take care of your kitchen.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
already like planting the seeds of how all of
If you're
that
out
is
there, I
going to
need work,
flow.
everybody. If you're out there, I need work. I need work. I'm gonna need more work.
More work for Tree.
Sorry, keep going. Keep going.
Um, well, the other part about that, though, I would say is I can't just see what's possible. I see multiple ways of what's possible,
Oh, I'm figuring that out too.
right? I mean, and
I'm like,
like
I
it's
don't know.
true because I have worked with designers and they just present what they want. And that's why, like, we're going back and forth. And I'm like, when you say a blank slate, I'm like, oh, it's a blank slate. And then there are things where you're like, wait, let's put some parameters. I'm like, cool, yeah, we can do that too. Like, I'm good with that because to
Yeah,
me, it's just creation. It's creating. It is making something the best version it can possibly be. And I do not believe that there's only one way to get there. I
I
think
love
that's
it.
true for us as humans too, right?
Right.
So yeah.
Well, and it's the creative. Like, I didn't know that I was creative. I'm creative in a very different way from you, and but I didn't know that. And so I think
Mm.
now I've been so fascinated with creativity over the last, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. And it's because I've realized that coaching is in leading their creative endeavors, right? But yours, it's just so outside of my ability to even comprehend.
Mm.
So, can you tell when you say you see the space? So far, what people should know is like I have this literally empty room. Like it's got carpet in it that's fairly new, so that's staying. And you created this Pinterest board. And first of all, I'm huge into metaphor. And so and everybody calls me tree. And so the shelves, I cannot. They're like
Oh
trees.
yeah.
Like they're so good. But then
They're
also,
so good.
like in the first year that we met, I remember sending you, I think it was your birthday. Yeah, it was for your birthday.
Hmm.
I sent you a bamboo plant.
Yes.
Tell everybody about that.
Oh, well, it was the
Do you
sweetest
still
thing
have it?
because
It's still there, isn't it? No.
No,
You killed
I
it?
don't.
You killed my bamboo. What the hell? I'm kidding. You went from Atlanta to Utah. It's fine. We're gonna be fine.
I didn't mean to. Listen, Rick wanted a live tree, and so we got this little tiny live tree, and it's sitting outside right now because I think I've already killed it.
It's me. I can't keep anything alive. It's fine.
Either.
It's fine.
My kids and my dogs.
Yeah,
That's
that's it.
that's my
That's all
limit.
you
That's
got.
all I can.
Like, it's fair.
No, but it was sweet because honest to God, like we were still just getting to know each other. And that was a time for me where like I just did experience like deep, deep loss and loss of an entire existence, really, like a
Yeah.
community, a belief system. Like I was deconstructing in every sense of the word. I was trying to understand who I was and what this new life was for me. Meeting new friends, working a new job. I was a single mom and um just couldn't and so it just I would say what that meant to me when you sent me that, like, and then okay, two things. First of all, like I felt seen because there had been that was a whole season where a lot of things about me were just unseen.
Hmm.
Everything was about my kids, like Christmas,
Yep.
birthdays. I didn't have a partner. Like I'd moved in a place where hardly anybody else was, and everybody else had their own lives. So it was a time of feeling alone, and so it felt really, really special to me. But then when you shared your story about it and why they matter, like what that means and what the meaning of it is, I was just like, oh my gosh, I think it might have even been then that I thought, I think we'll love each other forever.
Yep. For sure.
You know what I
For
mean?
sure. No, and it was so perfect. It kind of did it itself. It's like I love that. I'm not a gifts person at all. I was just talking to my mom about this actually. I don't appreciate like the transactional gift giving at all. Like if it's not
Hmm.
thoughtful, I'm good. Like I'm not
Yeah,
in it, if it doesn't have something behind it, um to give a gift because you're expected to, and I like, or to get a gift back because I gave one, I'm just not in for it. And
yeah.
that one,
But we're the same that way because
yeah.
it's like if we need something, we'll just go get it. I
Yes,
don't need
that's
people
it.
to get anything for me.
100%.
I'll go get it.
Right. Like 100%. But like if it's not, my mom just, as we were talking about it, because I think she's always had that. And it just really frustrates me. I'm easily frustrated by my mom, the poor woman. And it's totally not her fault. Like it's just moms and daughters, right?
Yes,
We know.
I do. Yes.
Yeah, yep. And I got her something for her birthday last year. It's called Storyworth. And like she gets
Yes.
emailed. Have you ever seen it? And so I
Yes.
have the book. I have a copy of it, and I bought a copy for my sisters. And she just told me, she's like, "That was the most thoughtful gift I've ever gotten in my entire life." And I was like, "That's how you give a gift, right?" And that's
Yeah.
the only kind of gift I would rather have, a piece of firewood wrapped up than just a random gift, right? Like I just
Yeah.
would, right?
Yeah.
And so, but the bamboo is, and this is
Hmm.
going to tie us back to the living room. You'll in a
Yep.
minute, and um, it's the metaphor is it will grow underground for 4 years. You won't see
Yep.
any progress above ground, and then when it's finally ready to grow, it'll just shoot up to like 90 feet, super fast. Like you can almost see the growth because
Yeah.
the idea. Obviously, my consulting company is called Tree Roots, so like
Yes.
that is so metaphorical to me. And so
For
you're
sure.
in this time where you are definitely regrowing all of your roots underneath the surface. And I
Yes.
thought, God, that's just perfect. And
It was
so,
so
yeah,
perfect.
it
It
was
was
really,
perfect.
that was
It
meaningful to
was
me.
meaningful.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was meaningful me to get it and then to know like the story behind it. And because I didn't know that until you had sent that to me. I didn't know.
it's so good.
Um,
That's so, I love that. I love
so
that you didn't know. Like that makes me even
mhm,
feel better about it. So the
yeah.
back wall in my new living room is going to be what?
Okay, bamboo.
Yes, the
But
whole
that's
wall.
the fun thing. Okay, so here's the whole concept behind, and I hear you, and it's good for me to hear you say like, well, wait, the rest of my house is kind of lake house or whatever, because what I can do is I could be like, oh my gosh, everything about this room has to be you, right? And so when I think of you, it was just like I mean, it's a lot of what we talked about, like as far as the palette goes. The bamboo obviously was a thing. The tree bookshelves and
Those are
the
so
but
cool.
but all of it has an organic
Yep.
feel, which is super authentic and natural. And I mean, that's how I think about you. Like I experience you that way too. And so when I'm looking at things, I'm not just being like, oh, what do I think is going to look good? I'm looking at things and I'm like, what are things that are just beautiful in their most natural state? And
Mm.
that was my driver. Like, that was my driver. I know that you like spaces that are peaceful. I know that you appreciate spaces that impact all of the senses, right? I mean, we talk about
Hmm.
sense, we talk about feel, we talk about textures, we talk about like and you and I have enough intuition that wherever we go, we can feel a mood wherever we're at in the room. And so to me, knowing all of that about you was really the genesis of where that Pinterest board came from and how I started my search.
It's so freaking cool. It's so cool. It's so cool. I wish I can't even, I just want it to be done. And you said that you would really get a lot of joy out of taking the staples out of the ceiling. And I got to tell you, I
Yes.
started that process last night. So once again, my home airport is GRR. If you'd like to
Okay.
come, the kids
Yes.
could, they'll be fine. Creed and Evie will be fine. They can come. I don't care. Bring them with.
Bring
We
them.
can
Yeah.
put them to work
It
too.
seems so satisfying just pulling those. Oh my gosh. There's something about there, and it has to be the right thing. There's something about tedious, repetitive work that, like, A, it'll drive me crazy if I have to do it for too long. But if I
You
know that
saw how
there's
many
a,
there are.
I know. I mean, I might could get halfway through it. It's fine. It's fine.
I would.
You're very determined to do all this on your own, and I respect and understand. I do. I do. It's so funny to me because, like, as we've talked back and forth, I'm like, okay, wait, hang on. You said blank slate.
Well, you threw a tile at me, and you're like, it's exactly it's as easy as doing the other thing, and I'm like, no, 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 no. One, you need a wet saw, Amanda. Do not tell
But the
me
skill
tile.
is, you have to understand my skill. I mean, when I say easy, this is a perfect example. Okay. So when I was building the chateau, I had this idea because I traveled all over. I had traveled in like 7 different countries in Latin America, and we had been all over the UK. And so I was trying to combine like things that felt like otherworldly. Um, and so there was this thing on these walls in some of these really old places, and I'm like, okay, I need to do that. And so when I was in the UK, I mean, I'm that weird person. I was like studying the wall. I was trying to feel the texture of it. I'm like, okay, I think I understand what this is. And so when we start to build the chateau, and I'm like, okay, here's what the texture of these walls need to be. And so I literally spent a weekend with bowls, and I had rented one of those like stirrers, like an electric stirrer. So
Yep.
you get like the drywall plaster or whatever. And then I had all these different buckets, and I would put different portions of sand and paint in that mixture. And then I used one wall in the kitchen and that the cabinetry was going to eventually go over, and sampled all weekend long what that formula was going to be to create exactly what I wanted, the texture of the walls that were going to be all over the chateau in. And it had to be gritty enough, but there had to be enough sticky enough so that the sand wasn't always flaking off of the walls. Like it was this whole thing. And so, because then when the builders are like, when I'm giving them that, they show up Monday morning and I'm telling them, here's the formula, here's how you mix it. And they're like, can we do that? Like, and
I
I'm
was
like,
just thinking, who
yes.
knows how to you put sand and paint on
Hmm.
purpose?
Yep.
How did you know to do that?
Because I studied the walls in these places. I'm certain that's not what they did,
Oh,
but
so you just made that up?
oh, totally.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Totally. Because I had to figure out how to get that.
Interesting. It's probably like some other like thing maybe it's sand, who knows?
I mean, these are, we're talking about like in the UK, things that were built like in an era before we were even a
Well,
country. You know what
certainly
I'm
they've
saying?
painted it since then.
I mean, the walls are thick. They're like they're like this thick in between doors. I needed
Oh,
that.
wow.
Everything is curved. I needed that. Like I just needed because this was the theme, timeless.
Ah,
So when I would work a wedding, I know none of my staff would tell anybody that I was the owner. I didn't want anybody to know because
I
that's how
love
I could
this.
be ears,
Yes. Tell this. I love,
right?
yep.
And it's the funniest thing because like people would come in and it would be after the ceremony because the ceremony would be outdoors and then they'd have cocktail hour and then when they would come through the food line would be the first time that you actually get to come into the chateau. And so there we only had one event per year that made it open to the public to come see. Otherwise, you were just there to like book a tour to see if you wanted to book an event. And so you would hear a lot of people be like, I've always wondered what it was like in here. I've always wanted to come up here. I've always da, da, da. And it was the funniest thing because people would be like, why this thing's been here 100 years. And I mean, I would get so tickled because I'd be like, or 4 years,
That's
whatever.
amazing.
And they would be looking at the rock, like the work that we did with the rock and the like all of the stone and the walls, of course, and how things they're like they don't make walls this thick like this anymore.
You're like, but they do.
You
But
have
they
to,
do.
you can. That's the thing for me is when it comes to that, anything is possible. Like I found a guy in this town. It's actually Jonesboro, which is the oldest town in the state of Tennessee. So very historic. I found a woodworker there and I found 100-year-old pine and he hand scraped every bit of that for me. And that's what we laid down as floor. So
Wow.
mhm. And then the wrought iron that we did, I had all like hand forged as opposed to it going through a machine, so that the shapes of all of them were all
That's
unique.
amazing.
Yeah. So
So I'm not going to have the same budget for this project. I feel like I need to say
you
that.
said you didn't know what the budget was,
I
and
don't because I
I
didn't plan to
am
do it.
taking that and running with it.
I noticed, but I didn't plan. When I say I didn't plan, like a day before, an hour before I did the demo, I did not plan, as you know. You know, this is a part of my process. We're just going to
Yes,
leave it
I
there.
know. And it's beautiful. I love
Yep.
it.
We're just going with it. So
Going
when
with
I
it.
said I didn't know what my budget is, that is different from I don't have a budget.
Okay, noted.
Oh God, it's so much fun.
But here's the
Oh,
thing that is the best thing. You know this about me. I have like literally the most expensive
I
taste.
know.
And it's not because I want to. I can go in any, I mean, like the kids used to do this with me as a game. I could go in any store anywhere and I could look at something. And I'm like, well, I like that. And then they look at the price. And I'm like, of course you do. It
Yeah,
is like literally the most, and I'm like, I don't mean for it to be. I would still love it if it were the cheapest thing in the room. I don't understand why this is a
no,
thing about me.
you wouldn't because you just like quality. I
I,
I
I
disagree.
do.
It's not like you're trying to find the most like you just you're going to pick it because it's the quality.
Yes, but I don't, when I get in a creative zone, I will tell you this, and I think this is where this is true. It does not, it ceases to matter to me if it's easy or difficult, because if I get to be creative, I'll do whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do
So,
believe that about you. Yeah. I, I
yeah.
I believe that. And that's why I know I'm in good hands here. Okay. So this is going to be a thinker. Can you describe how it feels inside your body when you're in the flow, like creatively?
Oh, it feels like I'm breathing. It's that feeling of like, um, if you were a kid and like you ever had anybody hold you underwater playing games
Mm-hmm.
and your breath or you got under a float and couldn't find your way out or something like that and you were just about to be out of breath and it's what that felt like as soon as you come up for air and you take that breath and it's just
Mm,
like everything is like zinging and it's alive. That's the word. It's breath and
that's great.
air and life and um yeah, it's so much potential. Yeah, it's my favorite thing to do.
I love that. I'm going to think about that. I love how you just described that. I don't know how I would answer that question, so I need to process. I like that a lot.
Well, And I think the reason why that's my analogy for it is because so much of where I'm at in my stage of life right now is the underwater.
Yep. That's fair.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there had been a season in my life where I had unending opportunity to create for a lot of years. And so I just did. I created where my heart took me. Typically that there has to be a more meaningful connection with it. So it was, community programs that helped other people or, across the world and Rwanda helping like any way that I could spend creativity for the good of people. And
Like
so
that.
I knew what it was like to live in that and actually felt like I was deeply living in my calling in that. And so when all of life shifts and changes, and then everything is just about like what is functional, what is practical, what does it look like to walk through healing, what does it look like to walk through healing with your children, what does it look like to
Mm.
be this very ritualistic, like we follow a schedule, we follow this, we like, and it just it suppresses that creativity in me, and so it feels suffocating. I mean,
Mhm.
that's the word.
Can you, when you're doing a life plan, so you do life plans occasionally for people, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a 2-day process, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Do you get into that? Does that feeling that like getting air after being underwater, do you get the same feeling from that or is it different?
I get the feeling from that, not from me actually doing the work, because that's a very regimented work actually. Where I get the feeling in a life plan is seeing somebody else be totally set free.
I get that. That's how I feel with
It's
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it isn't because it is so already structured. It's not a creative release for me in that sense, but it feeds and fuels the thing in me of seeing somebody else walk into everything that they deserve, everything that they're worthy of, everything that they were meant to be, everything that will allow to shine exactly who they are and how they're wired. People walk around thinking they're just supposed to fit in this cookie cutter world and they suppress so many unique,
Mm.
really incredible things about themselves. And so a life plan is 2 days of just being like, this is who you are and it's perfect and beautiful just the way it is. So like so to me, I'm like, whoo, it's just like setting another butterfly free. You know what I mean? It's just
Hmm.
like, go fly, be free. So I love that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All
Yeah.
right. Well, we're gonna come back and do this another time and talk about the empathy piece because that I feel like making that distinction is really important. And her and Adam Grant, I'm gonna send you the episode of her and Adam talking about it, of Brene and
Okay.
Adam talking about it, because
Yes.
I've meant to send it to you a long time ago because I we talk about this a lot, especially
Hmm.
just in terms of empathy and what it is and what it isn't, and how weird of a time it is right now. I think that secondary trauma is something that if we're not careful, we can. That's why I mean I haven't watched the news since November, and they go into this because like Brene and Adam actually go into this. They're really huge advocates of reading the news because we can fall into things like secondary trauma, right? Like experiencing
Hmm.
something in a traumatic way that didn't happen to us that is
Yeah.
happening in the world. We have to be very like kind of cautious of that because it does kill our creativity.
It is such a fine line though,
Mhm.
because like I feel like I don't get, I mean, I'm a learner anyway, like,
Right.
and I love information.
Same.
It is
Information
very,
safety. Yes, for me.
yes.
Yep.
And it's like I've lived in a world of unknown or being led to believe something that isn't actually true and told that I was wrong if I try to go find out something else. And so that has been part of like how I counteract and like how do I get outside of this bubble?
Yep.
And so the problem is I can't ever get enough, and then it does exactly what we were talking about. It impacts me, and so I have to try to find. I'm not good at it. That's the thing. I'm not good at finding the line of like, how do I stay informed in a way that is enough to
Same.
make choices for my kids, right? Like
Yep.
I have 2 out of 4 of my kids are and fit in a minority group. And so as someone who has been a single mom trying to raise kids and trying to understand and experience the world through their lens, that's very important to me.
Yep.
I don't, even if I did get to ignore it, I don't want to. I wouldn't want to.
See, that's what I struggle with. And it's because like you're right, I don't want to. And this is where I've settled on this. Me knowing everything that's going on is not going to change it. And
Oh,
I am much more valuable to this world when I can love everybody.
yeah.
And it's hard for me to love
Yeah.
as hard as I love
Hmm.
and be super tuned in. So I'm also balancing that. Like I'm not completely plugging my ears and closing, you know what I mean? I'm
Right.
I'm still staying informed to some extent, but I have to protect my input
Yes.
so that my output can be with love regardless
Yeah, I
because I
know.
I don't think I don't I don't even think as much of this is political, like our divide, as people think it is. I think that we just have different ideas of who to blame, and I think we have people who are trying to very much capitalize on division
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
it's a
I agree.
fast sell. I don't
Yeah,
I think that we agree on more than we disagree on. We just
I
don't
agree
agree
with
on who to
that.
blame.
Yeah. I think you do a really good job at knowing what to learn and what not to.
It's
I
hard.
I am driven by it because I am truly enraged when people are treated as less than. I
Yes.
just I mean that is I mean that at the core of who I
It,
am.
it is. I was just going to say it is the core of who you are. Like you
Yes.
just, yeah.
Oh, it
Yes.
is. And so it feels wrong if I'm just going to walk through life oblivious to
Yeah.
you do know, and it's weird because it's like to your point, like what where can I do something about what?
Right.
That's the thing. And so for me, I'm trying to find like little things of like, I mean, it's ridiculous, but we were at a coffee shop in Las Vegas and they're like, they have a coffee special and it's like, if you order this one, we donate to like the marginalized and I'm like, well, I don't care what I want to drink. I mean, are you kidding me?
It's
If
like
I'm gonna buy a
black
cup of
licorice
coffee,
flavored. You're like,
yeah.
done.
And now I'm like, hey, Evie, do you want one too? Like,
Yeah.
so it's like I'm so driven by that, and so see when I see around me, and I do, people now all of a sudden being devalued again or grouped into people that are considered less than. And listen, I've seen all this before. I went to Rwanda for 4 years every 6 months. I understand a genocide and people groups and the idea of superiority and it's just it's devastating to me.
Yeah.
So if I can just walk around and I just want to love people.
Same. Same.
It sounds so cheesy, but I'm just like, oh
No, it's why we were made from the same we're boiled
yeah,
in the same pot soul soup or whatever. It's
I
and
know.
that's because that's me. Like I don't I just
Yes.
and I think we both come by that very organically from,
Yeah.
things in our childhood and
Yes.
yeah, no, for sure. Okay, I'm gonna let's sign off and
Okay.
so because I want to hear about your weekend and we don't want to say
Okay.
that on air, but I love you so much,
Okay.
friend.
I love you so much. Thank you.
We'll do this again. This was fun. No, thank you. I like called you like half an hour ago. I'm like, Amanda, fluff your hair, girl. We're gonna get on.
You know, I know. It's fluffed. It's fluffed. It's
Oh,
a mess.
all right, I'm gonna stop the
Okay, you're gonna
recording.
stop recording though,
Yeah,
right? We're
we're gonna
staying
stay
on?
here. Yeah, 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 we're
Okay,
staying here.
okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.